I know, I'm not saying anything new here, but right now, football is an absolute shit show. For decisions they made themselves, for decisions that happened upon them because the new restrictions to do with the COOF, and maybe they're too much, maybe they're too little, maybe it should be on a case-by-case basis. But when football games started being postponed because of the COOF, Omnivore, as we call it, on this channel at least, as we call it, the new one, I kind of said, well, maybe, just maybe, they should postpone the games themselves so that over the Christmas period, there's actually football for people to watch. And that way there's no risk of people being spread with certain things, you know? They decided to not do that because streaming rights are streaming rights, and they didn't want to rearrange the games, which I understand because Spurs themselves are already 3 or 4 games behind. By the end of the week, there might be 4 or 5. I'm not sure exactly how many they are. But that's really bad for their calendar, mainly because of player fitness. Because if these guys are going to be playing for a prolonged period of time, 2-3 games a week, that is not good for their health. Their recovery is going to be shit. They're going to get injured even more. But on the other hand, if this new variant does get spread and is apparently much more spreadable than the previous ones, while being potentially less dangerous, which is a good thing. Like, if it's more spreadable, then I suppose that's all right. If it's less dangerous, then that's very good. So you have to take what you can get. Hopefully it won't be as bad as last Christmas, because it was an absolute fiasco. Last year was a mess for the whole world, and the year before, well, you know, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I swear, going to the cinema for the first time in almost 2 years to see the new Spider-Man film, I wasn't anxious. I had a little bit because, well, you're in a closed room with hundreds of people. I kind of thought, hey, it's all right. You know, people will be wearing masks because of what's being said. People weren't wearing masks. Now, I think masks should be, like, you should be wearing them because, well, it stops it a little bit. I'm not saying it does 100% of the job. I just had my second shot just a couple months ago. I don't want to be having another shot. Not very soon, at least. So in my mind, just take the precautionary measures and wear the damn masks, because only like 30% of people in the cinema were wearing them. And they were supposedly mandatory inside. So I don't know what type of rules were not being enforced. I'm not going to be the guy to be like, no one's wearing masks. I did go and say that the audio was a bit low and then they changed it, but I'm not going to be ratting on people, all right? Maybe some people would be. I'm not going to do it because if they don't want to wear the mask, it's their individual choice as well. I'm wearing the mask, but you don't have to. I mean, you do because it's the rules of the cinema, but I suppose it's grey, isn't it? I don't know. Point being, and mainly what I'm saying is, the Premier League should have predicted this. They should have seen this from last week where cases were going up, where clubs were being specifically infiltrated with this new variant, and they should have said to themselves, let's take a break for 1 week, 2 weeks, and that way we can actually have games over Christmas and the New Year. Now, because of this, I wouldn't be surprised if there's no football before Christmas. And that's what it is. Safety is paramount, you need to do it. But in the long term, it is just gonna hurt the players' health because of the recovery time, because they will not be fit enough and they will get injured more and more. That's not good, that's very bad. I've been injured this past year, it has really, really affected me. It really has. It's pretty fucked up when you have an injury which you know you could have probably avoided just by maybe taking a few steps yourself, and then you fucked yourself over for 8 months. I'm not bitter and salty about my own stupidity. No, not at all. But football should have sorted it out earlier. It's not done, and now we might have a very boring Christmas period, because everyone loves the Boxing Day games. Everyone does. Everyone loves the New Year's Eve games. Everyone does. But now that just might not happen. Wonderful.